why don't we break into our first wine tonight? And the first wine tonight is the Sylvain Guedron Vouvray Brut 2011. I give you a nice label shot there. And I give you also a bottle shot because everybody loves bottle shots. 2011 sparkling wine. I think a lot of people out there would be surprised. Probably a lot of people out there are surprised by the selection of wines tonight. We have 2 sparkling wines and 2 secs. Vouvray's about 5,400 acres, and about 52% of the production of wine in Vouvray is sparkling wine. And I know that we discussed it a little bit before that you don't mind sparkling Vouvray. Can you talk a little bit about what sparkling Vouvray means to the region, how the wines are made, and why people should be tasting them?
Yeah, absolutely. Sparkling Vouvray is obviously 100% Chenin Blanc. It's made in the méthode traditionnelle, or the traditional method. So that means that its second fermentation happens in the bottle, just like in champagne. Obviously, most of the wines in the Loire and Vouvray are fermented in a tank as opposed to in barrel, like is a bit trendy in champagne today. So they're fermented in tank and then transferred into bottle. The second fermentation happens there. There's a minimum of 12 months of lees aging that's required before the wines are disgorged and then filled up with a little bit of topping wine and then put into the market. But a lot of the really high quality producers leave the wines on lees even longer than that. And I think we have a really interesting comparison between our first 2 bubblies tonight, because we have one that had 12 months on the lees and one that had 15 months. And obviously there are a lot of different factors that go into how wines taste, but I think one of them is the lees aging, which we'll see, which tends to give a little bit more creaminess on the palate.
That's always a good thing to point out. We are very comfortable with terms like lees aging. A lot of people don't even know what lees are. So it's always good to backtrack. Can you explain what lees are to everybody?
Yeah, sure. Lees are the very romantic notion of dead yeasts that worked very, very hard and ate up all the sugar that they could, produced all the alcohol they could, and then just kicked the bucket and fell into the bottom of the bottle. And the funny thing is that while they create flavor, while fermenting sugar into alcohol, they also create flavor after they bit the dust. And while they're literally looking like dust and specks of dust in the bottom of the bottle, they continue to give off flavor, and it's called, super geek term, autolysis.
That is a super geek term.
Yep.
And it is amazing that they give off flavor, they create a texture in the wine. It's all this crazy chemistry that probably a lot of people are not that interested in knowing about, but it is really important because it does fundamentally change the wine, and that's what makes method traditionnelle, that's what makes these wines so special, so different. So somebody said sex Vouvray before, so sexy in a way, because it's an umami kind of flavor. It's this more rich, almost creamy texture. It's a very sensuous thing that happens with those dead yeast cells.
Yeah, your point that it's very umami is interesting, because a lot of wines, these sparkling wines, are very fruit driven. They're youthful wines until they encounter that autolysis, or that lees aging, the dead yeast lees aging, and so you have a nice contrast of something that's savory, earthy, with something that's very youthful and fruity.
It's complexity. It's what sparkling wine can deliver that no other wine can really deliver because of that.